Good morning. Thanks for coming. Last week I read a poem from Hafez, and once I start reading this book, there's just so much good stuff in here. So I picked another one out for this week. That's really good. It's called It Felt Love. How did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. It felt the encouragement of light. So in sort of Indian tradition and philosophy, we talk about this light as both within us and around us. So think of, you can all, I'm sure, think of a person or a being that you just really enjoy being around. And you're around that person and it just lights you up inside. You feel their support, you feel their encouragement, and it allows you to be a better version of yourself. So that light from that other being is just a reflection of the own light that's within us. Our own light, our own encouragement, our own support. But it is nice to have those external reminders, whether it's a person, whether it's beautiful artwork, whether it's music that really lights you up. If you listen to music, there's just something beautiful about music that can sort of light us up and encourage us. It could be books, it could be walking in nature, it could be being with animals. So there's lots of different ways around us that lights us up. But again, that light is just a reflection of what's already inside of us, that we have that encouragement already, that we have that support and upliftment. And when we really feel that, that's what allows us to be ourselves, to be creative, to be compassionate, to be loving, to be joyful, to be silly, to really open up ourselves. So when we feel that encouragement, that's what allows us to open. So when we practice, when we do this physical practice, it just reminds us of that inner light. It allows us to quiet our mind and to remember and to feel that light that's within us. So as we practice, imagine every movement you make, every breath you take is a reminder of that and is a returning back to that light. So thanks so much for being here. You can close your eyes if you haven't done so already. Let your hands rest wherever is comfortable and turn inward. Feel your breath. Feel your body, your mind, your heart in this moment. So you might be feeling totally lit up. You might feel connected to that space of yourself or from the people around you. And you might not feel that today. You might feel disconnected, like you don't feel that light within, or maybe it's lacking around you. And that's totally okay. We accept where we're at. We meet ourselves where we're at, and we do this practice to reconnect. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart, your palms touching. We'll sing the sound Om one time. You can join if you'd like, or simply listen to the sound and the vibration. Please exhale completely. Take a full breath in. May the fruits of our practice be for the upliftment and the lighting up of all beings. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And may all beings know true joy and love and the causes of true joy and love. Thanks so much, friends. You can release your hands, open your eyes. We'll start seated, so if you need to change your position at all to be more comfortable, please do so. You're going to bring your left hand down to the outside of your left hip, and you'll reach your right arm up and over. You can gently push with your left hand like you're pushing your right butt more into the floor to reach that right arm long. And then you'll go to the other side. Gently push down with the right hand to ground your left butt into the floor and then lengthen through that left side. We'll do one more on each side. Some of you might feel like you can either bend the elbow more. Some of you might get the elbow to the floor. It's a little too early for that for me. But if you bend that right elbow or the left elbow, you'll be able to get a little bit more stretch. And then second side. Feel that opening through the whole left side of your torso, like each rib starts to open and separate and expand. And then come back up. Reach your left arm straight up, bend your left elbow, take your right hand, place it gently on your elbow. And you're going to push down with that hand into the elbow and then lift back up with your elbow into your hand. Notice when you do this if you have a big arch in your back, so pull your low ribs and belly back so that your back is straight. You're just getting the stretch through your shoulder. Keep your head lifted, lengthen through the top of the head as you ground down through your seat. And then let's switch sides. Hold that right elbow, gently push down into the elbow and then lift back up with the elbow into the hand. Feel that stretch through the side and then back of the left arm. Lift up through the top of the head, ground down through your seat. Keep your belly strong by pulling your belly and your ribs back towards your spine. And then release that side. Interlace your fingers behind you. If you need to, you can hold onto a strap or a towel if it feels too much to clasp your hands. Give a little bend in your elbows. Reach your knuckles back, away from your low back. Imagine you could push your elbows apart from each other. They don't actually move, but imagine they could move apart from each other and then feel that stretch through the front of your chest. Again, pull your belly and your ribs back towards your spine. Nice, easy, deep breathing. Lift up through the top of the head, ground down through your seat. And then inhale to release your interlace. Let's come up to hands and knees. So you can pad your knees with a blanket or a towel if you like. Spread your fingers, make your hands big and wide on your mat, and you'll start to move with your breath to a few cat-cows. So as you inhale, you move in a cow pose where your belly, your chest move towards the floor. You can look more forward if that feels okay in your neck. And then as you exhale, you'll tuck your imaginary tail round your back, looking at your belly for cat pose. Follow your breath. Feel as if you could move each little part of your spine. So it's not just one part that moves, but everything that moves. When you go into cat pose, squeeze your belly muscles, squeeze your butt muscles. When you go into cow pose, draw your shoulder blades towards your back pockets and feel your heart open towards the floor and slightly forward in front of you. You can start to move in little circles with your hips, almost like you're wagging your tail side to side, and then you can make it more circular, bigger circles, even moving and feeling the movement in your shoulders and your wrists. Just make sure you go even, so you do the circles both directions, so you're warming up your hip joints, your shoulder joints, even your wrist and your knees by going back and forth like so. When you feel like you're even on both sides, come back to neutral. Tabletop position, pull your belly in nice and strong. Extend your right leg behind you, squeeze your right butt, lift your right leg off the floor. Hold here without letting your back arch. Push into the floor so that your shoulders are super strong and stable. You can stay here, you can reach your left arm forward, left thumb points up to the sky. Keep drawing your belly towards your spine, like you could pull your pubic bone up towards your belly button more. Reach your fingertips and toe tips away from each other. Release that side. Second side, extend your left leg back behind you, squeeze your left butt. You can keep that left foot down on the floor for more stability, or you can lift the left foot off the floor. Squeeze your left butt muscle, pull your belly in, and feel as if you go pull your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Super strong core, push down into your hands. You're welcome to stay there, or you can reach the right arm forward. Feel as if you could lift the whole inner edge of the right arm up to the sky more. You don't actually move, but as if you could, spin that inner edge of the arm more up to the sky. And the outer edge of the arm more down to the floor. It's called external rotation of your shoulder. Draw your right shoulder blade down your back, even as you reach your right fingertips away from you. And release that side. Bring your toes to touch, knees about hip distance apart, sit back for child's pose. You can let your forehead rest on the floor, let it hover, or put a blanket or a block underneath of it, whatever feels good. Reach your arms long in front of you. Stretch the sides of the torso as you root your butt towards your heels. Breathe into your upper back. Walk your hands over to the right, forgetting a side stretch along the left side of your torso. So you can bend your right elbow, come up onto your right fingertips, and use that right hand to push your left butt towards your left heel. Reach that left arm long. Feel that stretch along the whole left side of your body. Left low back, left rib cage, even underneath your left arm. Draw your belly towards your spine, keeping your core strong, even as you stretch that left side. And then go back to the other side. So walk that right arm long. You can bend the left elbow, placing the left fingertips on the floor, rooting your right butt towards your right heel. Reach that right arm long. Breathe into your right low back, your right mid ribs, underneath your right arm. Allowing the poses and your breath to really open. You're opening your heart. You're opening your body. Through intention, through mindfulness. You're using this light within to encourage yourself to open. Come back to center. Come up to hands and knees. Spread your fingertips really wide. And then lift up into downward facing dog pose. You can bend one knee, bend the other knee, like you're walking in place, if that feels good. Focus on your hands, really pressing each fingertip into the floor so that there's no space between the floor and your hand. Feel as if you could lift the armpits away from the floor. When you do that, you'll feel activation in your upper back muscles and you'll feel more connected into your fingertips into the floor. Keep that. Now draw your shoulder blades towards your back pockets. You'll feel like your head moves to the floor a little bit more when you do that. Try to keep that. Now push into your hands more to lift your hips behind you more and feel as if your chest moves slightly more towards your thighs. But keep those armpits lifted. Keep connected through your fingertips. Keep drawing your shoulder blades down your back. Belly stays super strong and connected towards your spine. And then come down to hands and knees. If you have two blocks, you're going to place the blocks kind of like an upside down V on your mat. So you're touching like this. If you don't have blocks, you can do this directly on the floor. It's no problem. You just won't get quite as much stretch. You're going to bring your elbows down onto the blocks and you're going to bring your palms together. Walk your knees back as if you were in tabletop position. Your knees are underneath your hips. And then you're going to move your chest towards the floor. Bring your hands behind your head. They might even rest on your upper back. The key is to keep your spine straight. So don't arch your back at all. You're moving your chest towards the floor. Some of you might be able to get your forehead to the floor or your nose to the floor. If you're on blocks and you feel like you can go even further, like you already touched the floor, you can come up higher on the blocks. Like I said, you could put blankets underneath your elbows or even pillows. That'll give you a little bit more height to feel that stretch through the shoulders. You don't want to feel this in your back, so your back is straight. You're moving your chest towards the floor, but the block is blocking your arms. They don't move. Your chest is moving to the floor. Feel that stretch through the shoulders. If you have any pain or discomfort, please come out of it, and you can do the tricep stretch that we did earlier, where you bent one elbow and you held your hand on the elbow, and you would just do both sides. And then inhale to come back up. Move your blocks to the side or blankets to the side. Place your hands, spread your fingers, make your hands really big and wide. Curl your toes under. You're going to lift your knees off the floor and hover. So you're like in hands and knees, but your knees are off the floor. You can stay right here. You don't have to move any further. We're going to go a little bit kind of flowing through movement, or stay right here, take a break, come down, and then come back up. If you want to flow through some movement, keep your knees lifted. You're going to move your butt towards your heels, kind of like you're in child's pose, but your knees are off the floor. Then come into downward facing dog. Your knees might be slightly bent. Then come forward into plank pose. Draw your belly towards your spine. We're going to go through this a few times. Remember, you can always go back to the first position. Bend your knees, and you could just hold here. So your knees are hovering above the floor. Then move your butt towards your heels like you're in child's pose, but your knees are off the floor. Lift your armpits away from the floor. Straighten your legs slightly, coming into downward facing dog, but still with bent knees. Lift your armpits away from the floor. Come forward, plank pose. Draw your belly towards your spine. Again, bring your knees towards the floor, hover. Press back like you're in child's pose, knees are deeply bent. Then straighten your knees slightly, down dog, but keep the bend in the knees. Come forward, plank pose. One more time through. Bring your knees to the floor, hover. Move your butt towards your heels, knees are bent. Straighten your knees slightly, down dog. Come forward, plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Either knees first or straight legs. Reach your arms back behind you, palms face down to the floor. Push your pubic bone into the floor, pull your belly away from the floor. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, lift your arms up, lift your legs up, locust pose. Look down at the floor but slightly forward in front of your mat. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and feel like your heart could open more to the floor and slightly forward to the front of the mat. So we're working on an upper back opening today. Squeeze your butt muscles to lift your legs higher. There shouldn't be any pain in their low back. If there is, don't lift up so high. Inhale to release. Please press back into downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. On an in-breath, step your right foot forward. Bring your back knee down to the floor. You can pad your knee if you'd like to. Coming into half split pose. So this is where your front leg is straight. Your hands are on either side of the front foot, either on blocks or on the floor. Spread your right toes. Drive your right heel down to the floor and pretend like you could pull it back to the back of your mat as you fold forward. Like you could reach your heart and open your heart towards your toes. As you breathe in this position, you might go lower on the blocks or lose the blocks completely. Steady breath. Deep inhales, long exhales. Bend your front knee. Bringing your hands to your hips. And actually, if you have a block, you can put it to the outside of the right hip. Squeeze your left glute like you do a little tuck of your pelvis. Pull your right heel back to the back of the mat, left knee forward to the front of the mat, and feel the muscles around your pelvis engage. Reach your arms up, touch the sky. You're welcome to bend the front knee slightly, but there shouldn't be any arch in your low back. It stays totally straight. Bend your elbows. Pretend like you can pull your elbows down to the floor and try to lift your heart up to the sky. As your shoulder blades draw down towards your back pockets, feel your heart reach forward in front of you. So lots of activation in the muscles in the upper back, opening the heart forward. Stay steady in your legs, squeeze that left glute. Bring your right hand to the block or to your hip. Reach your left arm straight up and stretch up and over. Everything stays the same in the legs. Keep driving the right heel down into the floor. Keep pulling it back behind you. Squeeze that left glute and then reach up tall and long. Open that whole left side of the torso. Inhale, come back to center. Place your hands on the floor, step back in a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg straight back behind you. You're welcome to stay right here in three-legged dog, or bend the right knee and then twist your hips open. So you're stacking your right hip over top of the left. Gently squeeze the right butt as you lengthen the right knee up to the sky. This is the important part. Lift your left armpit away from the floor and forward to the front of the mat. And then press your left pelvis back to the back of the mat. Stay long on the left side. Please don't crunch your left mid and low back as you open. Good, release that side. Step your left foot forward, right knee down to the floor, half split pose. Hands are on either side of the front leg, either on blocks or on the floor. Spread the left toes. Drive the left heel down into the floor and pretend like you go pull it back to the back edge of the mat as you fold forward, lengthening your spine, reaching your heart more forward towards your toes. Steady breath. The external form of the pose doesn't matter. It matters how you're breathing. It matters if you're able to create muscle activation and strength and stability. Doesn't matter how far forward you fold. Please bend your left knee. Your right knee is right underneath your right hip. You can take a block to the outside of the left hip if you have one. Squeeze your right glute, do a little tuck of your pelvis. Belly stays strong, reach your arms up, touch the sky. Pretend like you pull the left heel back towards the back edge of the mat and the right knee forward to the front edge. Bend your elbows again. Pull, like you could pull your elbows down towards the floor, draw your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets, and then reach your heart more forward. So there's an opening in the upper back of the chest, but the low back stays nice and neutral, no compression in your low back. Feel the opening through the front of your right hip. Feel the activation of the muscles in the upper back. Bring your left hand to your hip or to the block. Reach your right arm up and over. Feel that stretch along the whole right side of the body. Breathe into the front of the hip, the sides of the ribs, even underneath your right arm. Feel them open up. Inhale, come back to center. Place your hands to the floor. Spread your fingers, press back in a down dog. Lift your left leg up. You can stay there in three-legged dog, or you can bend your knee and twist your hips open, like you're stacking your left hip on top of your right. Lift, so it's really easy to collapse the right armpit to the floor. Lift the right armpit away from the floor. Press the right pelvis back. Stay long in the right low back, even as you twist open. Spread those right toes. Squeeze your left glute as you open up. Release that side. Come forward into plank pose. Lower either knees first or straight legs all the way to your belly. Bend your knees. Squeeze your heels together. Bend your elbows like you're in the goalpost, like we just were a second ago. Before you go up, push your pubic bone into the floor, pull your belly muscles away from the floor. Draw your shoulder blades towards your back pockets and feel the front of the shoulders lift away from the floor. You feel those muscles activate in your upper back. Then lift your arms up. Some of you might be able to lift your knees off the floor. Squeeze your butt muscles in order to lift the knees off the floor. Squeeze your heels together. You shouldn't feel any pain in your low back. If you do, don't lift up so high, or push your pubic bone into the floor more. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Look forward slightly, but still down at the floor. Deep breathing. Inhale to release. Press back in a downward facing dog. Full stretch, spread your fingers. Lift those armpits away from the floor. Draw your shoulder blades towards your back pockets. Then push into the floor. Like you could push your hands more through the floor to lift your hips higher to the sky and to move your chest more to your thighs. You can always bend your knees slightly if that feels better for your low back and the backs of your legs. Walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back edge of the mat, giving a little bend in your knees as you fold in. Spread your toes, ground down through both your toes and your heels. Draw your belly in as you fold forward. Draw the shoulder blades towards your back pockets. That'll help lengthen your head and neck towards the floor. Feeling traction through the whole spine. Length through the whole spine. It's too early for me to straighten my legs completely, so if you have a little bend, that's totally fine. Just meet your body where it's at. Give more bend in your knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Pause here. Your elbows point straight up to the sky. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Feel the muscles in your upper back activating. Keep the weight in your heels. Your back stays totally flat as you inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Come to the front of the mat. If you have blocks, awesome. Put them in front of you or some kind of elevated surface. You might want it. Let's bring the weight to the right foot first. We're going to come into warrior three pose. Step your left foot back slightly behind you. Keep a little bend in your right knee. Belly stays strong. Start to lean forward with your torso as you lift your left leg off the floor. You can always use a wall if you need it. Please keep the weight in your right heel to feel that right butt muscle work. Pull your belly in strongly. You can keep your hands at your hips. You can reach your arms forward, whatever works for you. Keep the fronts of the shoulders lifting away from the floor. Lift that left heel towards the sky as you squeeze your left butt. Bring your hands to the floor or to blocks, folding over that front leg, and you're lifting your left leg high to the sky. You can keep a little bend in the right knee if that feels better, bend it more. Keep the pressure through your right heel. Squeeze your left butt as you lift that left leg high to the sky. Standing split pose. Bring your left foot down towards the floor, back behind you for pyramid pose. So my feet are about 3.5, 4 feet apart from each other. One foot's in one lane of the highway, one foot's in the other lane. Spread the toes, both legs are straight. You're welcome to have your hands on blocks if that feels better. Or even your hands at a wall if it feels too much this morning to fold all the way forward. Pretend like you can pull your right heel and right hip back behind you more to the back edge of the mat. We're going to come into a twist from here. So you can keep your left hand where it is, or you can cross it to the outside of the right foot. Bring your right hand to your hip. Keep drawing that right hip back behind you as you twist your chest more open to the right. You can keep your right hand at your hip, or you can reach your right arm up to the sky. Feel like both sides of the pelvis move back to the back edge of the mat as your spine lengthens forward. Top of the head lengthens forward to the front of the mat. Deep breath. Inhale, release that right hand down, step forward to the front of the mat. Give a little bend in your knees, hands to your hips, elbows point up to the sky. Inhale to rise up with a flat back. Okay, second side. Left, weight to the left foot, step your right foot back. Give a little bend in your left knee. Bring your torso forward, put the weight in your left heel, warrior three. Do whatever you want with the arms. Right toes point down to the floor, pelvis points down to the floor. Squeeze your right butt to keep that right leg lifting. Draw the shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Lengthen your head and your right foot away from one another. Keep the weight in that left heel. Bring the hands to the floor to block, standing split pose. You can bend the left knee more if that feels better in your low back or the back of that left leg. Squeeze your right butt to lift the right leg higher to the sky to help you fold in more deeply over the front leg. Draw your belly in as you fold in towards that front leg. Slowly step the right foot back behind you for pyramid pose. So both feet point straight forward to the front of your mat. One foot's in one lane of the highway, one foot's in the other. Hands are to the floor, to blocks, or to the wall. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Pretend like you can pull your left hip back behind you more, your left heel back behind you, but nothing moves as you fold in. Okay, we'll take it into a twist. You can keep your right hand where it is, left hand to your hip. Feel both sides of the pelvis move back to the back of the mat as you lengthen your spine and top of the head forward to the front. You can take the right hand to the outside of the left foot for more of a twist. You can keep your left hand where it is or bring your left hand up to the sky, twisted triangle. Again, pelvis moves back to the back of the mat. Torso, spine move forward to the front. Feel that intensity through the whole left hamstring, outer left hip. Good work. Inhale, release. Step forward to the front of the mat, forward fold. Again, little bend in your knees, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to come all the way up to stand. Whew. Okay, we're going to come into a thigh stretch. You're welcome to use a wall if you want some support. Bring the weight to the left foot. Bend the right knee, hold the outer edge of the right foot. Pulling your heel towards your butt. Tucking your imaginary tail under so there's not a big arch in your low back. Squeeze your right butt cheek. Keep a little bend in your left knee. You can stay right here, or you can move into dancer's pose, where you start to lean your torso slightly forward. Before you kick your foot into your hand, I want you to squeeze your right butt first to try to move the knee back behind you more. Then kick your foot into your hand. You're welcome to hold onto a wall or reach the left arm forward to counterbalance. Keep squeezing your right butt to kick the foot back, then kick the foot into your hand. Shouldn't be any pain in your low back. Open your chest forward. Open your heart forward. Good work. Inhale, release. Okay, switch sides. Keep a little bend in your right knee. Bend your left knee. Hold the outer edge of the foot. Flare your toes. As you pull your heel in, the key is you don't want your butt sticking out. If you do, you won't feel as much stretch through the front of your hip. So tuck your imaginary tail under. Squeeze your left butt cheek. Belly stays strong, spine is straight. Again, you can stay here, you can start to kick your foot behind you, but first move from your butt. So squeeze your left butt to kick the foot back. Then kick your foot into your hand. You can counterbalance, bringing the right arm forward. Keep squeezing your left butt to kick the leg back. Open your chest forward. Draw the shoulder blades down your back and feel the front of the heart open up forward in front of you. Again, no pain in your low back. If there is, don't kick back so much or pull your belly in more. Inhale to slowly release that side. All right, so now we're going to do something similar, but we're going to open it up. So we're squared here. We're going to do the same thing. You can use a wall Or some of you might want to go all the way down to the floor or to a block. Now we're going to open up this way. Okay, so Ardha Chandra Chapasana it's called. So I'll walk you through it holding the wall, or maybe you put your hand on the couch, or you can go all the way to the floor. So let's bring the weight to the left foot, hold on to a wall. Start to bring your torso forward slightly. Squeeze your right butt muscle and try to make your right leg parallel to the floor. Then start to squeeze your right butt to kick your right leg back behind you more. Then use your foot to kick into your hand. Open your chest forward. No compression in your low back. Again, you're welcome to have your left hand on the floor, on the block, on the wall. Really squeeze that right butt to kick back. Feel that stretch through the front of the right hip, front of the right belly, left hamstring, inner thighs, it's everywhere. Slowly let go of the foot and then come back up. So again, I'll do the same thing. I'll start holding onto the wall and then you can work your way down. So right foot forward, little bend in your right knee. Start to bring your torso forward and lift your left leg off the floor. Open your hips up this time. Bend your left knee, reach around with your left hand to hold the foot, spread the toes. To open up more, squeeze your left butt and then kick your foot back into your hand. Open your chest forward. The higher up that you stay with that right hand, the easier it is. The further down towards the floor you go with the right hand, the harder it is. You want to choose the option that allows you to open your heart. So choose the option that lets you draw the shoulders back and open the chest forward. That allows you to squeeze your left butt and then bring that left leg back behind you. Again, no pain in your low back. Keep a little bend in that right knee. Squeeze that left butt, kick back. To come out of it, slowly let go of the foot and then come all the way back up to stand. All right, come back to the front of your mat. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach up, touch the sky. Wait for your exhale, a little bend in your knees, fold forward, touch the floor, touch blocks. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins or to the floor, look forward, stretch the spine forward. And then exhale, step back, top of a push-up, plank pose. Lower to your knees first or lower down straight legs, coming to your belly. Hands are on either side of your chest, setting up for cobra pose. Spread your toes, push them down into the floor. Before you go up, push your pubic bone into the floor, draw your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Then push down into your hands to lift up into cobra. Pretend like you could pull the palms of the hands back to pull your heart forward. Shoulder blades draw away from your ears to open your heart. Only lift up as high as pain-free in your back. Squeeze your butt muscles. Open your chest forward. Inhale to release. And then press back into hands and knees. If you need to put something underneath your knees, please do so. Spread your fingers, make your hands flat into the floor. Reach your right leg back behind you again like we did earlier. Bend your right knee. Flex your foot so the sole of the foot points up to the sky. You're going to squeeze your right butt muscle and push that right heel up to the sky. Don't let your back arch, and then back off a little bit. And then again, kick that right foot up to the sky, squeeze your right butt cheek, and then back off a little bit. So these are called donkey kicks. Nothing changes in your spine, stays totally straight. You're just moving through your hip. So you squeeze your right butt, kick the right sole of the foot up to the sky, and then back off a little bit. Belly stays strong the whole time, no arch in your back. So you have to pull your pubic bone up towards your belly button, even as you kick this right foot. Ooh, your right butt should probably be on fire by now. And then release. Second side, extend the left leg back. Bend the left knee, sole of the foot points up to the sky. Back is straight, core is strong. Pull that pubic bone up towards your belly button the whole time. That'll keep you from arching your back. Then squeeze your left button, extend that left heel up to the sky, and then back off a little bit. So you might feel like you don't get quite as high on one side compared to the other. Like this side is much tighter in the front of my hip, so I can't open up as much. If I force it, then I end up arching my back. So squeeze that left butt, kick the heel up to the sky, then back off a little bit. Squeeze your left butt, kick that heel up. Your back doesn't change at all. Belly stays strong. 2 more. Squeeze your left butt, kick up, kick up, kick up. Last one. Good work. Come onto your elbows. Interlace your fingers. Press the sides of your hands into the floor. Press your elbows down into the floor. Curl your toes under, lift your knees off the floor, coming into dolphin pose. If it feels better, take your feet wide apart and bend your knees a lot. Eventually, you're going to walk in so that your shoulders come more over in line with your elbows. It's a big stretch through the backs of the legs, so please bend your knees as much as you need to. Push into your arms. Push into the sides of the hands to lift your head away from the floor. Relax your neck and jaw. Belly stays strong. And then slowly release back down. Step your right foot forward. Go wide to the right side of the mat with that right foot. You can stay, so your hands are to the inside of the front foot. You can stay there, or you can come onto your elbows, or come onto blocks if you can't quite get to the floor with your elbows. Please don't just collapse into this. So squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Pretend like you can pull your right heel back to the back edge of the mat and the left knee forward to the front edge. Feel the stretch and the sensation in your right butt and in your right groin. Belly stays strong. Try to squeeze your left butt and feel both sides of the pelvis move to the floor evenly. If you're on your elbows, please come up. Here are your options. Right hand to your hip. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Twist. Option 2, bend your left knee. Reach around. Right hand holds left foot. Pull the left heel towards your left butt. Open your chest. So as you draw your shoulder blades down your back, whichever option you're choosing, feel like your heart opens forward. You feel that encouragement of the activation of your upper back to open your heart forward. Feel the encouragement of your core. You pull your belly towards your spine. That'll maintain your low back. So no compression in your low back. Whichever option you chose, slowly unwind. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So the left foot goes wide to the left side of the mat. The hands are to the inside of the front foot. You can stay up on your hands. You don't have to go any further. And just breathe and hold here. You can just bend your elbows more. That'll give you more stretch through that left hip. Or you can bring your elbows to blocks or to the floor. Whichever option you choose, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Pretend like you can pull your left heel back, right knee forward. So you're super strong in the muscles around the pelvis, even as both sides of the pelvis move towards the floor. Stay steady, stay active through that left foot. Spread the toes. Push the left heel down. Try to squeeze your right butt. It's hard to do here. I'm able to hold it for a couple seconds and then it turns off. And then I engage again. Okay, option 1, come back up onto your hands. Keep your right hand right where it is, left hand to your hip. Twist open to the left. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Option 2, bend your right knee, reach around, hold the foot with your left hand. Pull the right heel towards your right butt, spread your toes. Draw your shoulder blades down your back and feel the muscle activation of your upper back to open your your heart forward. As you open the heart forward, pull your belly and your ribs back in the opposite direction so that you don't get any compression in your low back. Core stays strong as you open. Inhale, slowly release that side. Come back to hands and knees. Spread your fingers. Okay, option one, reach your right leg back behind you. You can just stay here. Option two, bend that right knee like we did earlier, squeeze your right butt. You can stay right here, push your hands into the floor, belly stays strong. Option three, reach around with your left hand to grab hold of the foot, inner edge of the foot. Spread your toes, push down into your right hand. Belly stays strong, then squeeze your right butt to lift the right leg higher into the sky, then kick your foot into your hand. So you have to squeeze your right butt, don't just kick the foot into the hand. Pull your pubic bone towards your belly button, it's so hard to do here. Push into that right hand, feel your chest open forward as you kick your foot up to the sky. And slowly let go. So you shouldn't feel any pain in your low back with that. If you do, don't kick up so high or go back to the second option. Second side, left leg back, belly strong. Bend your left knee. Squeeze your left butt and stay here. Or reach behind you with your right hand, hold the inner edge of the foot. So this side is tighter for me, I'm not gonna go up as high. Pull your belly in. Squeeze your left butt to kick the left foot up higher. Push your left hand into the floor. Then start to kick your right foot into your hand. Look forward. Move your chest forward. Keep squeezing your left butt to lift the left leg. Then kick your foot into your hand to lift the left leg higher. Belly stays strong. Pain-free in the low back. Inhale to slowly release. Press back into child's pose. Toes touch. Knees hip distance apart. Rest. Recover. Let your forehead rest on the floor or on blocks or on your hands. Feel your heart rate settle. Please come back up onto your elbows again. So you're going to do dolphin pose round 2. Or if those of you do Pinchamayurasana, that's a forearm stand, you can kick up. Or I'll give you an option to just lift one leg up. So lots of options here. Interlace your fingers. Press the outer edges of the hands into the floor. Push your elbows into the floor. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees off the floor and take your feet wide apart. Bending your knees makes it a little bit nicer. Try to walk your feet in a little bit so that your elbows and your shoulders stack in line with each other. You can stay right here. If you want more intensity, bring your feet closer towards each other. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Squeeze your left butt to lift that left leg higher. Some of you might take little baby kicks. There's no wall there, so be careful. Keep pushing down into your hands into the floor. Switch sides, lift the right leg up, left toes down. Squeeze your right butt to lift that right leg up. Some of you might do little kicks. Some of you might balance. Whichever option you're doing, come down to hands and knees, child's pose. Recover. Let your heart rate settle. Let your breathing rate settle. You start to feel the effects of practice. Feel the effects of mindful movement, of breathing, of increasing your heart rate and calming back down, of stretching and opening your muscles, creating stability through your joints. You just feel the effects of practice. All right, come up to hands and knees. Here's your grand finale, my friends. So we're going to do the pose that we did standing, where you kind of held the foot and kick back. We're going to do it kind of in your arm balance. I'm going to show it on the knee. You can do it off the knee. So take your left hand down to the floor like you would for a side plank. Turn your left fingertips slightly towards the left corner of your mat. Left knee's down on the floor, right leg is straight out. So everybody can do this. So this is side plank with the knee down. Belly stays strong. You can stay right here, or you can bend your right knee, reach around, hold the foot with your right hand, just like we did standing. Pull your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Squeeze your right butt as you kick your foot back. Push that left hand down to the floor so you don't sink. If this feels really comfortable and safe, then you can do full side plank where you're off the knee and then you're kicking the foot back. So baby kapinchalasana, baby bird pose. Squeeze your right butt to kick the leg back, then kick your foot into your hand. Open your heart. Push down into that left hand. Slowly release. Okay, switch sides. Right hand down. Turn your right fingertips out slightly towards the side. Right knee down. Left leg long. So everybody can just stay here. Or you can bend your left knee, reach around with the left hand, grab hold of the foot. So the tendency is to really arch your low back. Pull your belly in. Pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Squeeze your left butt, then kick your foot into your hand. Push the right hand down into the floor. You're welcome to go into full side plank if that feels safe for you. But keep kicking your foot into your hand, but first by squeezing your left butt to kick back. Open your heart, push down into the right hand. You can look up to challenge your balance. Good work. Inhale, release. You made it. Come down, hands and knees, child's pose. Recover. Press yourself back up and take a seat. Take your legs out wide apart. If it feels better to sit on a blanket, please do so. Make your legs straight. Press the backs of the legs down towards the floor. Toes point up to the sky. You can place your hands behind you to sit up nice and tall. Really anchor the backs of the legs down towards the floor. If you're sitting on something, they won't touch the floor though. You can stay here, or you can walk your hands forward, coming into a forward fold. Do what feels okay in your low back. If you start to roll into a bad posture in your low back, then place your hands behind you. So you want to be nice and tall in your low back as you fold forward. Press the backs of the legs down towards the floor. Squeeze those thigh muscles, nice and strong. Push your heels down into the floor. If you're folded forward, please walk your hands back. Bring your legs towards each other. Keep the right leg straight. Cross your left foot to the outside of the right leg. Hug your knee in with the right arm. Take the left fingertips behind you. Push down for the left fingertips to sit up nice and tall in your spine. Push your right heel down to the floor. Squeeze the right leg straight. Push your left foot into the floor to twist to the left. You're welcome to hook your elbow if you prefer that option. Right now it feels good for me to just hug my knee in. As you pull that knee in, I want you to push that knee back into your arm and sit more firmly into your left butt to feel a stretch through that whole left outer hip. Inhale to unwind. Switch sides. Left leg straight. Cross your right foot to the outside. Really step down into your right foot and keep your right butt on the floor. Hug your knee in with your left arm. Take your right fingertips behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Squeeze your left thigh, push your left heel down into the floor. Get tall through your spine as you twist. Again, as you pull that knee across from you, push the knee back out into your arm to sit more into your right butt. Then you'll feel a stretch through that whole right outer hip butt area. Pull your belly towards your spine even as you twist. Inhale to unwind. Come to lay on your back. If you want to hug your knees in towards your chest for one last little stretch, you can. And then rest for Shavasana. Legs go out long. Arms by your sides or resting on your belly, whatever feels best for you. So this is the part of class where all your efforts, all the mindful movement and the physical efforts, this is why we did it. For the heart to open. To feel the encouragement of that inner light. So that we can show the beauty that is in us. We can show it to the world around us. So something about this practice connects us more to that light. It's hard to put word to. It's hard to describe. Just notice what you feel. You can even visualize the space around the front of your heart, like it can soften and open, as if any layers of hardening that have closed us off, like it all melts away. All the fear, the pain, the protection we've created over the years. Imagine like it can soften and move away. Bring your attention back to sound. Allow your breath to deepen. And slowly move and stretch in any ways that feel best for you. It felt love. How did the rose ever open its heart and give to this world all its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. You can make the movements bigger, eventually bending your knees and rolling to your right side. Take a moment there, thank your body for its support. We're so grateful for the light, for the support that we've received in our lives in all the different ways, all the different people. And we bow into this inner light within. Use your hands to press yourself back to a seated position. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. With my whole heart, I thank you for coming to practice. To share the teachings with each other and with me is such a gift. The light that is me bows to and acknowledges the light that is you. Namaste.